CM Punk drops major hint amidst return rumors. Nikki A.S.H has high praise for Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, and the Young Bucks comment on Daniel Bryan and CM Punk reportedly joining AEW. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. To stay up to date with all of our content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. CM Punk drops major hint amidst return rumors. Former WWE superstar CM Punk has shared an interesting story on his official Instagram handle amidst rumors that he is on his way back to pro wrestling after 7 long years. A short while ago, the rumor mill began spinning rapidly in regards to Punk's possible return to the squared circle. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful was the first to report that he is in talks with All Elite Wrestling for a return to the ring. CM Punk hasn't denied these rumors so far, and the latest Instagram story only raised fans' excitement tenfold. He shared an audio clip featuring the song Serious by the Alan Parsons Project. For those who are unaware, the song is popular for being used extensively for the Chicago Bulls. Punk's post left fans speculating about him possibly appearing at AEW's All Out on September 5th. The event is scheduled to be held at the Now Arena, which is located in the Chicago suburbs of Illinois. The arena is home to the Windy City Bulls, an affiliate of Chicago Bulls. CM Punk's last in-ring outing was at the Royal Rumble 2014 match that was won by Batista. He immediately left WWE following the contest, and it drastically changed the company's plans for WrestleMania 30. Punk revealed that months later that he wasn't happy with his standing on WWE's roster and also bashed the promotion for being negligent toward his well-being. He has had a short-lived stint in the UFC that didn't go well for the former WWE champion. When All Elite Wrestling came into being, many fans wondered whether Tony Khan would manage to sign CM Punk to a deal. Speculation was running rampant as AEW's first show, Double or Nothing in 2019, loomed closer. The show ended with Jon Moxley making his big debut, and Punk fans were left disappointed again. Triple H says WWE will take a hard look on how to attract more fans. Triple H and WWE are well aware that they've lost some fans over the years and are now in the process of figuring out how to attract new ones. Triple H recently spoke to Dan Gelston of the North State Journal about the end of the Thunderdome era, with WWE heading back on the road. When the subject of recent record low ratings for WWE Raw was brought up, Triple H stated that the company would take a hard look on how it can attract more fans back to the WWE product. But the game cautioned that it's not just one thing that will turn the ship around, saying, quote, "It never is one thing. We see this as a moment in time to shift everything. I think you'll see it in just the layout of everything, the set designs, the way it's presented. There's a greater emphasis on utilizing the spaces that we have and the TV aspect of it while still engaging the fans. A lot of that comes from the time we've had to experiment inside the Thunderdome." End quote. Triple H is right. Things as simple as new entrance stages and bringing back part-time talent aren't going to be enough to bring back all the fans back to WWE. While it might offer a temporary boost in ratings, it isn't a long-term solution. But if WWE makes a concentrated effort in order to grow their fan base, they absolutely can. It'll be interesting to see what Triple H and WWE can do in the weeks and months to come as it pertains to increasing the WWE universe. Nikki A.S.H has high praise for Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Nikki A.S.H shocked many people on Monday night when she cashed in her Money in the Bank contract. The almost superhero took advantage of a vulnerable Charlotte Flair and pinned her to win the WWE Raw Women's Championship. A.S.H secured the victory after Flair competed in a hard-fought match against Rhea Ripley. After the bout, Ripley attacked Flair and A.S.H capitalized. Nikki A.S.H recently appeared on WWE's The Bump, where she commented on both Flair and Ripley. She had high praise for both women, both whom will surely be keeping an eye on A.S.H now that she holds the gold, saying, quote, "Rhea and Charlotte represent the Raw Women's division spectacularly. They have these amazing matches, they're brutal. You know, when you watch these two together, you know what you're going to watch a fight, because that's how much this Women's Championship means to Rhea, means to Charlotte, means to every single female in our division, and Rhea and Charlotte encapsulate that really well." End quote. It's clear that Nikki A.S.H respects the two biggest potential rivals despite the fact that they are probably hoping to take her title. Though she has a lot of respect for her competition, Nikki A.S.H felt underestimated by both Ripley and Flair. Neither of the women gave so much as a glance to Nikki's way, and both would ultimately regret it. Nikki A.S.H, then known as Nikki Cross, scored consecutive victories over both stars in a Beat the Clock challenge match. A.S.H now feels that both women, as well as the WWE Universe, have learned their lessons, as no one will underestimate her now. Nikki A.S.H certainly made her point when she cashed in on Flair. Now as the brand's champion, she's arguably the top women's wrestler on WWE Raw. Ricardo Rodriguez discusses possible WWE return. Ricardo Rodriguez is open to return to WWE as an in-ring performer or as a role behind the scenes. The 35-year-old featured prominently on WWE TV between 2010 and 2014. Although he initially joined the company as a wrestler, the former NXT star is best known for his spell as Alberto Del Rio's personal ring announcer. Speaking on the It's My House podcast, Rodriguez said that he'd love to go back to WWE after a 7-year absence. He also believes his experience outside of WWE could prove beneficial if he ever returns to the company, saying, quote, "I would love to go back to WWE, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the scenes. Throughout the last 5 or 6 years after I left WWE, all these excursions I've been on, I've got to learn different hats. Producing, being an agent, timekeeper and gorilla, training. Man, I've learned so many hats. I would love to go back. If it's not in ring, at least behind the scenes," end quote. As Rodriguez mentioned, he has gained experience in a variety of backstage roles since leaving WWE in 2014. He's currently working on opening up a wrestling school in Cairo, Egypt. Ricardo Rodriguez performed as Alberto Del Rio's ring announcer between 2010 and 2013 before forming a brief alliance with Del Rio's former rival, RVD. RVD's partnership with Rodriguez ended after his feud with Del Rio, leaving Rodriguez without an on-screen role on WWE's main roster. Rodriguez left WWE in 2014 after asking for his release. He also performed for the company as an in-ring competitor under the names Chimaera and El Local. The Young Bucks comment on Daniel Bryan and CM Punk reportedly joining AEW. AEW Tag Team Champions the Young Bucks recently took to Twitter to drop a hint at recent reports suggesting that Daniel Bryan and CM Punk could be on their way to join Tony Khan's promotion. First reports surrounding Punk gearing up for an in-ring return with AEW being the most likely landing spot started emerging. As expected, the wrestling world went into a frenzy over the prospect of seeing him wrestle for the first time in more than 7 years. Hours later, another report suggesting Daniel Bryan inking a deal with AEW began circulating. Within a few minutes, the news went viral with fans imagining various scenarios and matches for Bryan and AEW. The report also suggested that his contract would allow him to work dates for New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. Adding fuel to the fire, the Young Bucks, in their recently updated Twitter bio, stated that everyone wants to work for AEW, possibly hinting at Bryan and Punk's imminent arrival to the company. The AEW Tag Team Champions further termed themselves as trendsetters and trailblazers in the wrestling industry, saying, quote, "LOL, of course everyone wants to work with the company we started and named. Makes sense, we're trendsetters and trailblazers, duh," end quote. Punk and Bryan are arguably two of the biggest mainstream pro wrestling stars currently not under contract with WWE. Their popularity is such to an extent that even most casual of the wrestling fans are keeping an eye on their next move. As such, if Bryan and Punk do end up in All Elite Wrestling, one can only imagine the amount of lapsed fans they would bring along with them. This could further drive AEW's ratings and pay-per-view rates close to unforeseen levels, possibly close to what WWE regularly achieves. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories and exclusive content, make sure you follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.